Welcome back to another episode of the Briefcase The Barn, a series of the Furious the Curious show where we talk about business, life, Christianity, and more. Episode 67, maybe?
6, yeah.
I can't remember. I thought 66 was I don't know.
Okay,
I lost track. Last week was Mike. That was a pre-recorded one. We had recorded a few weeks earlier where I forgot to hit record.
Okay, I haven't listened to it yet, but I guess
it comes out tomorrow
morning. Nice.
Yeah. If Leonard gets it in time, because he said he's sick. So he said,
just play it. That's whatever.
We'll see.
Yeah, we had the auction this past week. You were gone to Alberta for a good jag of the week.
I decided at like 10 o'clock on Tuesday, and I was supposed to work for the auction on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then Steve called me halfway through the morning. He's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, driving to Alberta."
Okay.
I was just going to do videos for him.
He definitely want to kill you for sure. He's either happy with you or he wants you dead.
Okay. Good to know.
he's top
black
notch,
and white.
Right? Well, no. He's just a get her done guy, right? And if you're not on that page, like,
fair enough. I was getting her done.
Yeah, you're just going the wrong way, which is pretty bit of a metaphor, actually.
Yeah. How was the auction?
Very, very challenging.
Okay. More challenging than other years?
Yeah.
Because?
People questioning our integrity, just nasty, man. Nasty.
What? Really? People you knew?
Yeah, good people. Like top.
What do you mean questioning your integrity?
People,
like doing what?
Just kind of like they didn't get the item, so they're wondering if there was shenanigans going on. A lot of lots are linked. Like there was, for example, there was one particular piece of equipment. There was like 6 or 7 of the same. There's actually a bunch of things like that, and they were all linked.
What do you mean linked?
Well, lots are linked. So the way it works, normally in the auction, every 24 seconds is what we had the time set at this year because we had a huge auction. It was the biggest fall sale we've ever had. There was like 1,300 and some items. Every 24 seconds, a lot closes, starting at 9 in the morning on auction day. And then if anybody bids in the last 2 minutes, it adds 2 minutes. I think that's what it is, something like that. Well, if lots are linked, it means they're all together. And so even if one of those lots has a bid on it in the last 2 minutes, all of them get extended. So they never close without all the bidding being done on all of them. Okay. Well, people did not realize that. So we did not describe it properly, and we should have had a picture with that description.
Is that a new thing, or has that always been that way?
No, it's always been that way, but this year it was really that way, especially because we had some like very expensive items that were similar.
Okay. And why would you want to link products?
The main reason is because then, like, for example, if you had them not linked, what you would have happen is that you'd have the best, let's just say there was tractors, right? You'd have the best tractor probably sell a bit light.
Yeah.
And then the guy that wanted that one but didn't get the nice one would overpay for the next one. Now they all kind of like click their way up to whatever price they need to be at, right?
Okay, because they're all the similar value.
Yeah. So picture somebody who doesn't understand the auction.
But it doesn't mean you get. But it doesn't mean you buy all 7 lots.
So you just get the one that you want.
But the price is staying stable.
But what you'll have is that you'll have one that's super popular. All the rest, the top bidder will have it tied up, and then they'll sit there for 15 minutes with nobody hitting theirs. But for some reason, the time's extended. And the person that doesn't understand what the lot linked means, they think, "Hey, these guys are running a scam here.
Understood.
How come it's not closing like I need to win my item, right?"
Yeah.
So we just didn't do a good job explaining that. Johnny and I both have farms. We both bid at our auction. Some people don't like that. And there again, it's a totally unreserved sale. Like nothing has a floor. It's not like something doesn't sell. It all sells for whatever. I've put the most of almost anyone of anybody. I've put expensive stuff in the auction. I did this year.
Like selling your own stuff, you mean?
Yeah. I sold a skid steer in the auction and like, did it go for what I...
But are you buying in your own auction too?
Yeah, but not my own stuff, obviously. Like I'm bidding other stuff. But my own, I'm just saying, I'm an auction junkie. I buy at other auctions.
You're not bidding stuff up just to...
Well, no. I would never bid on my own stuff, and I guess that's the point. Like I've had very...
How do you catch guys for not bidding on their own stuff?
Because we're really smart. We watch it like a hawk.
Do you?
Yeah, and the reason is because I'm a buyer at auctions. I want to have integrity knowing that I'm not being played with.
Yeah.
And that's, I think people don't understand that. It's like, and the thing is, if you look at like on our auction software at the end of the sale, the gap between... Like people put proxies in, and I've done it. I've done it at Ritchie and people do it at our auction. They're going to be busy the day of the auction. They got to work. They'll go in the night before. They'll put in their top number they're willing to pay. Yeah. Doesn't mean that's what gets entered. Yeah. It just means they're willing to bid up to that price. Well, that number, that proxy number at the end of the sale is usually 10 to 15% different than what the actual final sale number is, right? And so it's a fascinating business, and it's interesting how people don't totally know how it works. Or, at the end of the day, they're like, I think one piece I haven't done well is just communicate that we do bid at the sale. So like you might be bidding
Okay.
against me. And if you don't like that, then don't bid at the sale.
Okay, yeah.
But
And
if
you're okay with that.
I'm okay with that. And I can understand that people would be like, hey, you know what? You have more information. Like, how do they feel? I could see people being a bit uneasy about that. At the end of the day, it's like I've shown people the back end before in unique situations where it's like somebody that I really respect.
Well, especially if you're clear about it, you can do whatever you want. There's no law you're breaking.
No, but I mean, every single, you know this, every single business deal that you do is simply based on trust. So you have no, even for me especially, like I feel like I have no business if people don't trust my character
Yeah, but if you
right?
aren't going against your own conscience, or like you're doing
Fair enough, and we could create whatever rule book we want. It's more in this particular situation. It's like there's the pressure of the auction. It was a $2.4 million sale.
Oh wow, it's
it was
way
a
bigger
monster sale.
Okay,
our last biggest fall sale, I think, was 1.9 or 1.8. It was 1,300 lots. There's 1,000 people that can sign stuff. There's 1,000 buyers, and they're both mad for different reasons. And all the pressure floats up to the key people. Like we have key staff.
And you only probably remember those conversations anyway, because probably 95% of the people are happy.
I don't know if 95% are happy. I mean, it's
90.
I hope not. It's probably not 90, but
no. But this is
people love the auction.
This
like,
is a thing though, right?
Auction.
Like I'll work with guys, and they'll get like a few bad reviews from customers.
Just crushes them.
Crushes them. I'm like, you're at 99%.
I don't mind being criticized in a lot of areas, but I think if you get into the spot where people think that you're a shyster, that's not okay. Like I am not okay with that.
No.
Like I'd rather just not run the auction then. Right?
Yeah.
So I think, and it's funny, if I have that blunt conversation with people, then people will often backpedal. They'll be like, oh, no. Or I'm like, hey, you can buy the auction. But like, you take this, you run this, right?
But you also answer any question. It's not like you're avoiding.
No. But I think the pieces where it's like, hey, I run an equipment dealership and I have business partners in that. I mean, they're allowed to buy at the sale. They're allowed, and just like anybody can buy something and resell it. Like if some stuff sells a bit light.
Capitalist.
Yeah, it's a free country, right? So, but like I say, I think
anyway, good sale though. Like
it was a great sale. It was
pizza night
profitable.
was fun.
People were happy. The event night, I think, we ran out of food, which is a bit unfortunate. My apologies to anybody. Yeah, again.
Okay.
Yeah, tourism.
What, big long lineups this time, or people
struggling.
got their food pretty quick?
There was no long lineups. It was just at the end of the night. It was
because there was a thing like you weren't allowed serving your own food for.
We're still not.
Oh
no, it's like we have to hire them because it's the system we live in, right? Because somebody has a license to feed all the food. So for those that don't live around here, it's there's this big community building. It's on agricultural land. It's supposed to be for agricultural events. Ironically, we're probably the most agricultural event that happens there, and they treat us like second-class citizens.
You can't go to that city? I would go to the city for that.
It's complicated. You always got to be careful if you're going to go with, you know what I mean?
It's just kind of practical. I'd be like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah, smarten up here. But you know what I mean? If you go above somebody to complain about somebody else down the...
Yeah, you should go to first person. First have that conversation.
Yeah, have the frank conversation.
Yeah.
So, no, the sale was good. How was your trip to Alberta?
It was awesome.
Okay.
Really enjoyed it. Got to meet with some guys that I had Freedom Session with.
Okay.
A bunch of coaching clients, former and current coaching clients out there. It's awesome just seeing their businesses. A bunch of these guys I'd never met before at all. And you know them really well, right? And you'd never met them before.
You would have Zoomed with them or not?
Yeah.
Okay, so you did see, you knew what they look like.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you had that before where you talk to people a lot and then actually met them physically? And
my coach, when we did it was only audio. Okay. And so we didn't it was really weird.
Okay. Yeah. I've had it to this day where there's people that I'm currently doing business with and done millions of dollars of business and have never met them and do not know what they
Not even a video call.
Not even a video call.
Okay. I almost always did video calls.
Don't even know hardly where they live. I just send them money and they send me product. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was really awesome, and had some good dinners. Stayed at my brother-in-law Nathan and Julie's. They're awesome.
Okay,
know them really well.
In southern Alberta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So I drove all the way out there with my Tesla, and so it just tells you how long to speed each charger and stuff like that, and it's pretty easy. It doesn't, and self-driving is also awesome, except for you can't be on your phone when you're self-driving.
So how long do you have to charge on average? Was it like a 20-minute stop each time?
On average, yeah.
On average?
Yeah, it really depends. So like I had to stop in Merritt. I think it was like 13 minutes. I had to stop in Kamloops.
Oh, it tells you exactly how long that you would need to charge for.
Yeah.
And then are you almost at empty when you get to your next stop?
You can set what you want your minimum to be.
Oh, okay.
So I set my minimum to 25%.
Okay, so you definitely got some buffer there. Yeah. Okay. Fascinating.
But you can't look at your phone during the self-driving because it's looking at you, and so you can't outsmart it either. So you cannot text when you have full self-driving on, which is that's when you want to do it the most. Because when you're...
Do you not use Siri to text or not? Do you use
No.
Apple CarPlay? You don't?
No.
You should try that.
I should try that. Yeah. Anyway, or even just like social media or anything, whatever. Like you can't be on it.
Do you do voice to text for texting?
No.
Okay, I only do voice to text,
Okay.
which does cause some serious problems sometimes.
Anyway, I got a camera mount, put it on my windshield, so I'm looking straight ahead of me, so I could just watch YouTube videos and be on video calls and stuff like that. Don't do it the whole time, but like you can literally, it's much safer than me. Driving? Much safer.
Yeah, that's probably true.
But yeah, anyways, met with guys out there, and then I had a funeral on Friday.
Okay.
This was incredible. So I met this guy. It was Suzanne Knock that passed away, and her husband Dave. Her and Dave went to with me and Nicole went to a marriage course called Hope Restored in Calgary.
Okay.
Like the first marriage course we ever went to, and it was me and Nicole and 3 other couples and 2 counselors.
Oh wow!
For 3 days. And they fed you and everything. It was like a more remote house in like the foothills of Calgary. So all the counseling was in a group. And so they were one couple, and they were like in their 50s, I think.
Pretty cool.
So we met him there, and then I just stayed in touch with him for the last 5 years. But I hadn't seen him again.
And his wife just passed away.
Yeah.
Brutal.
She had a 4-year battle with cancer. So he texted me on Tuesday. So I was like, hey, I wanted to go out to Alberta anyway to see these guys. It was a good excuse to rip out there. So in the morning was the casket, like the graveside, and then after that was church. And so he texted me these things, the times and stuff like that. And so I just went to the cemetery, but it was
in the wrong time.
No, it was direct family only. So it was just his kids and his parent and her mom. And me, so I seen him there, and he came up to me and gave him a hug and chatted for a bit. And I'm like, I think I just realized I'm not supposed to be here. And he's like, oh, it's fine, whatever. So, but I got to be there while they, lowered their moms into the ground, and they all said a few words and stuff like that. And
pretty heavy, man.
Yeah, Bill Zortball was there. I guess he's a brother to Martin Zortball here.
Yeah,
he did the service, but it was really emotional. Just like, wow, this guy's just like lowering his wife into the grave, and he was just like weeping for her. And really,
we're all going to, right? All those of us that are married, like one of us is gonna.
Yeah, but 59 is pretty early. She was like healthy.
Yeah,
but it really made me throw back to Grace. And I went to go to her gravesite yesterday because I remember like holding a little casket and like putting it around. Yeah. So again, like it was emotional. But then later at the church service, he was at the front. Dave was, and they were singing. How great our God song or something else like that. And he had his hands in the air and he was praising like an hour and a half after like lowering his wife into the grave.
It's interesting. To bury first, then go to the service later.
Yeah. That way you don't have to go back and forth for the lunch afterwards. Go to church and back, apparently. Anyways.
Interesting. Lots of
I just thought it was amazing. Only God can do that, where you're able to praise God with your hands in the air genuinely. And this guy is not like he's a straight shooter. Like he's a cowboy. Like,
he's not a hyper spiritual Henry?
No, not at all.
Okay. Those are my kind of people.
Yeah, me too. Awesome. Hyper spiritual Henry. I like it. I want to make some memes now. But yeah, I just thought that was awesome.
Okay.
Drove home Saturday.
I like Southern Alberta.
It's beautiful out there.
It's pretty windy.
My niece just bought a lot in Fort Macleod. They built a house, and I'm like, bought a lot, and I was like thinking about like a lot. I was like, I'm like, oh, how much are lots for here? It's like $85,000.
Yeah, that'd be a lot for Fort Macleod. Have you driven through Fort Macleod lately?
Yeah, you can still build a nice house.
Yeah, I know, but you're still in Fort Macleod, right?
It's beautiful.
Definitely the people from Fort Macleod are upset now. I just drove around there for the first, my whole childhood. Every other summer we went to Fort Macleod, right? My mom grew up on the Blue Trail, and so we always went there and hung out with cousins and stuff. And it just, I don't know why it was a negative experience, but it was just kind of like, well, we were there for a long time, first of all, and a lot of visiting, right? And when you're a kid, and like,
did you go to the fort there?
Yeah, we went there probably one time, but I don't know.
I seen.
It was just a lot.
I drove past the commercial building that I owned there for a couple of years. I'd never seen.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, now back at it. Recorded another episode this morning with Stefan Mons.
Okay. Private investigator.
I got like 5 lined up now that I haven't released yet because I haven't shot the intro videos yet, so I got to get on that.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a busy week this week?
No, just recording, coaching, just different things. We got some questions.
Okay, I have not looked at the mailbag. I don't.
Yeah, we're just running into this pretty cold today.
pretty unprepared. I did put something on there last night because I was sitting with a bunch of guys, and I'm like, I'm going to put that in the show notes right now.
We still have another question about the native band.
Well, I put another comment that was attached to that.
Okay. Question for Gary. Super curious how Canadians can afford to buy feeder cattle in the U.S. with the current exchange rate, especially since cattle are at an all-time high. Any ideas?
Well, I would assume it's a level playing field. I mean, everything else is a level playing field. The hay price in the U.S. is exactly the same always as the hay price in in southern Alberta.
Even with the exchange?
Yeah, it just levels out. Like, it's a global world. Like, any product that can easily be shipped back and forth. There will be some discrepancy sometimes, and there will be definitely a discrepancy from certain areas. So, like, if you look at the beef price, at least from and there again, there's people that are listening to this that know way more than I do, but, like, I just had a conversation with guys that buy beef cows for a living yesterday, and they, like, there's certain parts of the Midwest or further east or even in eastern Canada, I think they're getting, like, phenomenally more than we're getting here. And even right across the line now, just to counter argue what I just said a second ago, like, the beef price for a wet calf is definitely like $150 to $200 more right across the border, like 20 minutes from my farm. But it's obviously not that easy to bring them across. So I don't know about the exchange rate on actual feeder cattle. And my belief is, and I'm there again, people totally disagree with me on this, but I believe that at some point in the next year or two, people that have their feedlots full of feed, some of the guys that own the cattle are going to get their heads cut off financially. That's just my belief. I think anytime people say that, oh, it's going to stay high, anytime you get the exorbitant talk and no caution, it's like, watch out. Sounds like we're in bubble territory. So I think the beef price, if I look at what even like the price of the calf to what the food on the table is, beef price in the store is probably still way too cheap, right, for the meat that's coming. And at some point, people will eat more pork, or there will be consumer demand will change as people hit hard times, right? So
okay. There's your answer.
That's not a great answer. Sorry.
Okay. Would you consider your household a democracy, theocracy, or a communist dictatorship? Mailbag question.
Consider your house.
Theocracy. Do you think is God first? You?
I asked Marie that, and I mean, she listens to this. Oh, there's a lot of questions. I think she said a communist dictatorship.
Communist dictatorship?
Yeah.
Now, okay, so...
in our house, my wife is the commander-in-chief, and she does not take prisoners.
I can see that.
Like, you do not run. You cannot run, and it's funny, because I remember growing up as a kid... What's that?
You ever scared of her?
I'm always scared of her. Perpetually terrified. I remember being a kid, going to my friend's house, and they'll remain unnamed to protect the wonderful mothers, but some of them had pretty big families.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, this lady is a psychopath, man. Like, this lady is a savage, right? Like, just no BS, right? But now that we have like 6 kids in a 7-8 year wind gap, it's like, you need to be, there again, you need to be gentle, loving, kind, and all those things. But kids are literally looking to see who the boss is. And when you start to vote on, like, I'm an idiot. Like, I'll take my kids on a hike and I'll have a vote with my 6 deranged children on which hike we should do. Oh, yeah. It's like, you're a fool. No, just pick the hike. Tell them where you're going. They can't decide. They fight like crazy, right? They fight over like way.
I fall into this crap too. I give the kids options. I'm like, what am I doing?
No, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So anyways, like I say, I feel
like you're pretty good at that, though. This is what we're doing.
No. Marie would say I'm the most indecisive person she's ever met.
Okay.
Yeah, people think I'm super, and I am in some areas, but I definitely do struggle. Like, I'm making some really big changes right now in business, and like to actually pull the pin, make the decision. It's like, I antagonize more.
Maybe you should call Kim. Or maybe not.
Just carry on. Quick decision. Ruthless.
That one's fun to
Theocracy.
That one's
communist dictatorship. And what was the other option?
I deleted it already.
Oh man, don't delete it. That's a great question.
Okay.
It'd be curious to know how people view their household and how that works.
Yeah, theocracy would be like how it's actually run at our home. It's probably, I don't know.
A dictatorship.
Yeah, I was gonna think.
Who, for you or for Nicole? Who's
a dictator?
Together. Okay. Yeah, we definitely do not. Like I say, I know we're blessed because I obviously walk alongside a lot of couples. Like, we do not, as a general rule, Marie and I are not in great disagreement.
Yeah.
And I think that we just kind of pick our times when one of us is tough or one of us is kind of laying down the law or doing. And I think we try to dialogue well in healthy ways when we can. So kids, like, you don't want to raise your kids in a home where they just don't have a voice, right? And I think it's really easy to do.
Yes,
right.
That would be more common.
Yeah, I think it probably is. So I think we have like our questions that we answer after dinner, where the kids each get their own time to answer. I mean, I do the bulk of the tucking in. If I'm at home, I tuck kids into bed, and then when I'm praying for them, I typically they don't get a lot of time because there's 6 of them, but I do they do share about their struggles, and that's when they would kind of vent, right? So
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to play a little clip from Pastor Matt's sermon on the purpose of the church that he had 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or the title of, I'll play it. It's like 1 minute long. I'm going to chat about it. I'll change it to 1.0 speed.
Reality is that many of us spend our Sunday mornings worshiping one God and the rest of our week worshiping other gods. We proclaim Jesus, but functionally serve the gods of our culture. Here's the way this works. You worship money, you become a greedy person, right? The Psalm 115 is right. You become like what you worship. So you worship money, you become like a greedy person. You worship sex, you become a lustful person. You worship power, you become a corrupt person. You worship work, you become a restless, frantic person. You worship people, you become a selfish, dependent person. You worship Jesus, on the other hand, and something astounding happens. You literally, as you worship Jesus, become a fully human, flourishing, Christ-like person. No other God will satisfy because there's only one true God, and he's the only one worthy of our worship and the only one who will satisfy our souls as we worship him.
I thought that was really insightful, or I never really thought of it before, as in you worship money, you become greedy. You worship work, you become a frantic, and whatever else like that. Like the result of those things, when we worship anything other than God, the negative consequence of what that thing is, versus, I don't know, it stuck out to me.
The part I liked the most about the sermon, well, it's kind of like his first line, because I think everybody does it to varying degrees, and maybe your other gods are, like, he named all of them. It could be the Toronto Blue Jays, it could be whatever. Like, people just pick their things that they're super... Religion, yeah. Yeah, even just doing the right things, right?
Yeah.
So many people are quite proud because they're just always doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But it's a clanging cymbal if it's not done with love. But it's interesting how I just find it, I found this sermon series super practical, obviously. Like, it's the common means of grace or something, or is it what is the actual sermon series?
The ordinary path to extraordinary grace.
Thank you.
There's no way I could have remembered this either. I would have butchered it.
Okay.
The ordinary path to extraordinary grace.
And it's the whole sermon series that our church is doing right now, and it's just been really helpful and it's convicting. And I think a lot of people, I don't know if it's in that sermon, but I think at every church there's a swath of people that are literally going and just checking a box. I think that's common. Whether people that are literally trying to do the right things but just get in a rut, or people that are just appeasing somebody. I mean, he said it in the Sunday sermon this past week, right? Where, hey, maybe you're literally here, you're a skeptic, but you're here just because someone's dragging you here. Yeah. No, that's because this Sunday sermon was about being a spectator, right?
Yes.
Being a spectator at church, and lots of spectators there. So anyways, it's good.
So this one was called Corporate Worship.
I really enjoyed it.
The Chilliwack campus. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Got a question from the mailbag. It says, Kyle, you often say in the podcast you had a lot of childhood trauma. Is there a podcast where you explained what happened? And what was it like growing up in the church house? So there's not a podcast where I talk about it. And I don't plan to talk about it, I guess. I'm not sure when I'll talk about it. Or if ever. I probably will at some point, but just not.
Not today.
Not today. What was it like growing up at the church house? Just to explain the church house. So, grew up as a pastor's kid, and the house we lived in was at the back of the property of the church, called the parsonage. And
do they still call it that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's where I lived for my whole life, before I moved out.
Oh, because you were born in...
Oh, no, actually, Holland. I was born in Holland. Yeah, I was born in Holland. I was half a year at my dad's first church, 5 years at my dad's second church, and then 25 years.
He was not... That's interesting that he was not that long at that second church.
No, the first two were both 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. And then felt
Yeah, small
interesting.
fishing town, bigger Dutch city, and then to Chilliwack.
And I'm assuming while he would have been in Chilliwack, he would have been called to go preach at other churches many times.
Oh yeah,
those
all the
years.
time,
All the time, every year.
every year, a couple times a year.
Okay.
I remember playing a prank on him one time. So my sister lived in Apeldoorn, which is a Dutch city, and he got a call from that city, and I had read in the Banner of Truth, which is like their
Newspaper,
whatever, that this other pastor had accepted this call, and these two Bible verses stuck out to him. And so I went to my dad on a Sunday afternoon. And I said, "Hey, Dad, like I found these. I was reading the Bible and I came across these two verses. What do they mean?" And they're like directly have to do with like accepting
Being
a call,
called.
whatever. And so I could see him. I still remember I was sitting like halfway the stairs. We had kind of like a midway point in the stairs, and I was watching him like kind of like flipping through the Bible and stuff. And then he comes like. I see him turn around, so I ran upstairs to my room, and he goes to me. He goes, "Kyle, like, were you really reading those verses? Like what is it about?"
It's a prophetic word or
Yeah,
something.
and I'm like, "No,
No,
it's
you're
just
you're
found it a
turkey.
bit better."
You're just a turkey.
You're
Yeah,
thinking he has to go.
I feel so, I just feel sorry for this, especially obviously in some denominations, there's pastors where there's hardly any preachers, right? And it's
Yeah.
like, man, the weight of even just that decision. And I mean, I don't know how much time, but I'm sure they take it pretty seriously. And it's like, man, you have to decide like, hey, do you stay where you're at, and why do you stay there? And what's God calling you to do? It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, the one in Chilliwack, the house though, like that was built for our family because we'd moved with 6 kids.
Okay, they literally built it.
Yeah, there was a house that was on Ramona Drive first that was the original one, and so they built that, and so I know they renovated it this year because then my dad moved out after he retired.
Okay.
And they found definitely the markings of the 25 years we lived there.
Of abuse from Kyle,
yeah.
Kyle
I mean,
beat on the house.
I remember like we had left the iron on the ground one time, and it just like burnt through all the way through the carpet, and it was like the perfect iron. There's crazy shit.
It's very interesting. I mean, you guys have 3 kids in the house now, and they're all pretty, like, one's really little, right? But like in our house, we've always prided ourselves on like looking after stuff and try to keep it up. It's just constant, the amount of carnage, the stuff that's getting wrecked.
Yes.
Kids sawing into stuff and just,
Constantly.
Just water everywhere.
Constantly.
I'm just like,
Just
I give up.
Part of the game.
You just got to learn to be more easygoing, which is difficult for me to do.
Yeah.
I had another. I don't know if we want to tackle the First Nations question today because I still don't feel like well educated enough. But it is interesting because it keeps coming up. Like the addition to reserve thing keeps coming up, right? And it's definitely going to become. In hindsight, people will be like, "Oh, those guys were talking about that 5 years ago," but now politicians are finally have the guts to actually talk about this. It's going to be a major issue in our community.
Really?
Yeah, it's going to be a major problem.
Is there like a developer trying to push this?
There's lots. I mean, anybody that's smart. I mean, if there's a famous saying, if you can't beat them, join them, right? And then everybody will be bitter against you because you did something that benefited you financially. But if you're living within the legal framework of what our society allows, are you doing the wrong thing? I don't know. It's a conscience question, right? I'm just saying, it's like if you had a chunk of farmland and it's literally in the heart of the city and it probably should be houses, and now all of a sudden we're going to say, hey, we're going to give it to a First Nations group, we're going to sell it to them, and then they're going to in turn develop it. Like, is that right or wrong? Like, there's going to be a collision.
What do you think?
It's definitely not okay, but it's...
Why not?
Well, I shouldn't say it's not okay. Let me rephrase my answer. You have to decide. You have to, and this is where the conflict's going to come in, because the same person that would agree that, First Nations should be allowed to do what they want with their land, and maybe this was the idea that this was, originally their land. That's why I'm not a big fan of land acknowledgements, because I think if you open up the can of worms, you have to be prepared to go all the way through. So if you're at that camp, you need to be the one that says, hey, my house is your house. You can have my house. Like, either it's yours or it's not. Like, you know what I mean? How far back do we pay for the sins of our forefathers? Those are questions that are complicated, but I just have complicated answers. I'm just saying the idea of the camp, the person that's in the camp of looking after, First Nations communities and making sure that, hey, that they can do whatever they want with their land. They're going to probably be a lot of the same people that are, hey, let's protect all our farmland, right? A pro-development person is going to say, hey, we're going to grow our food wherever we grow our food. The market will take care of it. Hey, maybe in the valley here, the whole valley is going to be like valleys in California where the entire valley is filled up with houses. And we just grow the food
that's kind of like the ALR thing. But
it's complicated because that's where they mesh, right? Because the ALR, like the Agricultural Land Reserve, and particularly the Commission, is like the almighty powers in BC. Like, you cannot appeal their decisions. It's not like the parliament has votes about stuff. Like, that commission has a lot of power. And right now they are turning a blind eye, in my opinion, to addition to reserves, because it's a political hot button thing, and they don't have the guts to actually say, hey, no, we got to stop this, because then instantly they'd be saying to a band.
Okay, so who is so they're making deals of trading land then?
No, they're private landowners.
Yeah.
Are not able to develop their land because it's a beautiful chunk of farmland.
Yeah.
They're adding it back to a reserve, getting a big fat check.
Okay, and now anybody's allowed to do that.
You could look on the government website. It's free knowledge. I mean, I haven't read every
so
last.
You could own someone in middle of Chilliwack, just a farmer could own 20 acres, 30 acres of land. It can go to
addition to reserve. It's called. You can Google
and
it.
They could do so. Hey, I want to add.
And then guess what? Now all of a sudden, ironically, it's houses.
But they can get paid for it.
Yes.
Okay, so what if they made that there's
that's a whole separate issue. Did you read that? Is that what you're alluding to? The issue in Richmond?
No.
Like, there's in the city of Richmond.
But if you made it, you could give it back, but you don't get paid for it. I mean, then there would be under the deals, like underneath the table. But
yeah, it's at the end of the day, it's people are going to do whatever they can to line their own pocket, right? Because that's human nature. And I guess,
but yeah, that should definitely be cut, because that's just cheating the system to get houses built. Well, you don't think so?
I'm not.
What do you think? What's your opinion?
I guess, to me, I struggle so much with the ALC that I think it's
the
ALC, the Agricultural Land Commission, which like governs all the farmland in BC. I struggle so much with the way they make decisions that I find it humorous now that they're going to be in a spot eventually where they, it's just petty of me, but like all of a sudden they're going to be standing there saying to cities, "Oh, you need to be the tough person," or who's going to be the.
Okay, but what do you think though?
I think that farmland should be protected to some degree. I believe that there's lots of pieces that are in the ALR that are in the reserve that shouldn't be in the reserve. But because, this is just my opinion, I think because the commission is so reluctant to ever have somebody hit the jackpot and be able to take their piece out and turn it from $100,000 an acre land in Chilliwack farmland to $2 million an acre development
Why
land.
would they be scared of that?
Because they just don't want to see anybody. People never. It's human nature. People don't want to see other people.
And what about someone giving it to the land reserve? Like, that's obviously you're against that, right? Like someone having a whole bunch of land and going to a band and saying,
"Hey, we're going to sell this."
Yeah.
I mean, in certain situations, I'm like, "Hey, whatever." Like there again, there's no law against it.
But I know. But what do you think? Do you think that do you think the ALC should cut that off?
I think they need to take control of it. Because eventually the entire Fraser Valley is going to be houses. So if the power, like I don't have a particular bet. Like I'm way more in the free market camp where, hey, the food will get grown where the food needs to get grown.
Okay. So you would be okay with no ALR?
Oh, I don't know if I'd go that far. I have to think about that more.
I mean, you're farming, Rosedale tractor shutting down. This is all going to be houses here.
Yeah, we're gonna sell electric car chargers instead, or something. I don't know. Sell lawnmowers, robotic lawnmowers to small.
Would your opinion that you're more free market in the approach to the land and not have like it being controlled and not being used, would that be common among your peers in the farming community, or would they, because they could all cash out too?
Well, there's the crux of it. Everybody has a great moral compass until it affects their own pocketbook.
Oh yeah, until they have the option.
Until they have the option to get paid $400,000 an acre instead of $100,000. Like, that's why I mean, like, show me your true character once the money's on the table, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's why you asked me what my real opinion is. I mean, I'm not in favor of beautiful chunks of farmland being circumvented and being turned into houses. I'm not. But I also am not a fan of how. No, I'm not a fan of how our system is now. And our system is now that it's a blanket statement. The reserve was created in 1972, and there's piles and piles of crappy land in Chilliwack near the city limits that all kinds of different people of all different races and cultures
have it controlled, but let's say
be subjective. You're never going to make a good decision if something is not subjective, and nobody wants to have guts and make hard decisions.
Should be appeals, and
there should be processes. It's like, hey guys, common sense would prevail that this chunk is a swampland. It's never going to be great farmland. Let's build an industrial park here. What did they do? No, the chunk where Molson Coors is right now in Chilliwack, for those that know, it's along the highway. That was great farmland. It's the city of Chilliwack gets $1 million in property tax money every year from that company. It's obviously got good jobs. It's good for our community, but it didn't need to be built on a nice, it could have been built on a crappy chunk.
Yeah.
But because we have people that are spineless and can't just say, hey, we're going to change
A lot of spineless people out there.
Well, whatever. It's not that simple. I mean, I don't like being
Pool
dumped
noodles.
on. I don't like being dumped on either. I mean, my comments about the auction show that. I mean, I don't like being criticized either. I probably talk tough, but would struggle making the decision. I just think,
I was struggling just to get an opinion out of you, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I struggle so much. I think it's more nuanced than, hey, I'm totally in favor of this, or I'm totally
I definitely
against it.
I love your comment. And I love your comment about when the money's on the table for yourself. Then let's see.
Then we'll see how you where you really stand.
Yeah,
Right?
I seen a thing. I think it was in James O'Keefe last week, and he said, "What's your number? What's your number? 100 million? 500 million?"
Yeah. Where would your morals go out the window?
Yeah, like,
well, most people a lot less than 100 million.
He goes, "If you can be bought," he goes, then you like it has to be your life. Like if you really believe in something, it has to be your life. Like that's what you are willing to pay. Otherwise, you don't believe that much. Otherwise,
It's interesting too, because I have a lot of people in my life that they just do not have a number, and that's pretty cool. There's a lot of people in my family that are they're people of character, and they're
now to be said, you probably should have a number on certain things that don't matter.
Yeah, but some people that's the other side.
Because
of the
some people will die for shit that just doesn't
weird
matter.
Stuff, but who cares? It's just, that's
fair.
the beauty of
that's
the beauty of how we're created. People just have weird characteristics, and some
strong
people like
opinions.
me, everything is for sale, and other people won't sell anything no matter how much they get offered, and that's what makes our culture and society beautiful.
Yeah, but I was referring more to free speech, just like believing in something. Like how much are you willing to give up your morals?
What would that look like practically? I'm not following the analogy.
Okay, so you get a business deal that you know isn't really moral.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not that bad. And it's like, it's $20 million that you get if you don't claim this certain thing or whatever, And so a lot of people say, no, I'm not going to do it. But a lot of people have a number, right? Where they're like, oh, it's like.
If it was enough, they would do it?
Yeah.
And you're saying they should have a number?
No, I'm saying if you have a number, then you can be bought.
Yeah.
Right? You don't want to be bought. When it comes to selling a certain item or whatever, like a material thing you own, of course, whatever. But I mean more just like on what you believe or like being able to.
Things are way more gray than a lot of people realize too. I think that when you get into the black and white thinking, you very quickly become legalistic and very quickly become a Pharisee. And so,
but it's just like I like to pick on the farmers on this one for like Maxime Bernier and supply management, right? They weren't political at all until.
No, they were all political, but they all voted a certain way until they're
also they showed up. Before they weren't like, a lot of farmers never showed up to a lot of political things, or like abortion, they don't show up, right? It shows your actions show what you believe.
They're worried about their quota.
Money.
Milk money. Oh, it's so bad when people put that on the back of their vehicles. I just want to rend my clothes Old Testament style. I'm like, please stop. You're killing us.
Why?
Oh, it just looks
bad rap?
Oh, yeah, it gives us a bad rap, right? And I mean, dairy farmers as a general rule, I mean, obviously a lot of people would realize how hard most dairy farmers work, but a lot of people would view them as, a lot of people view them as rich fat cats? Is that how you'd view dairy farmers? That's how you talk about quota, so I would assume that's how you feel.
No, I don't really.
Okay.
I feel like they're stuck.
Why do you crap on quota so much? No, they're not stuck.
Well, that you're asking what I think about.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think farming, I think stuck because you have to be there all day, every day. Yeah. So I think like
prisoners of war on the dairy farm.
That's what I would feel like if I was a farmer. Yeah. And it goes like, I wish you were a farmer. I'd be like,
stay here.
No, like I'd go crazy.
Most farmers I know are extremely hardworking. Dairy and otherwise.
Yeah,
most,
I would
most
agree.
Guys I know are extremely hardworking people. Yeah, and it is interesting. I always use this analogy because this is why I hate dairy farmers getting dumped on. All farmers in Canada, no matter what you farm, the exception maybe of hogs, because hogs is pretty savage, but the rest of the commodities, whether grain, vegetable, if you farm for a long time and your family's owned a farm for a long time and you work hard and you own a bunch of stuff, when you quit, you are worth a lot of money. That's just the way it is. If you have a lot of assets,
and you can borrow
because of the
and you can
printing of
borrow
money.
against it, right? You can buy toys.
Yeah, you can. And anyone in any commodity, as a general rule, if their family's farmed for the last 60 years, unless they had horrible habits or were horrible managers, they would be very wealthy people, right? So it's like.
But I think that's fine though. Like I'm not against.
Yeah, and you definitely do not. I'll tell you what we're creating now. We are creating a culture in our country where if you start talking about wealth is a negative thing and people that have done well is negative, you will pretty soon have negative GDP. You will have a crappy
Yes.
country. You will have capital
Yes.
fleet countries. You will have motivated people leave. And our society is up the creek without a paddle. That's how I feel right now.
100%.
When you start to have people like me look at all the bureaucracy and all the red tape and all our businesses and just feel like I want to sell everything
Yes.
and collect a
That's
rent
bad.
check, that's a bad day.
That's bad.
So anyways, that's my rant. I
Yes.
think I've done a lot of ranting.
I agree with that 100%.
That I've done
I
enough
mean,
ranting.
I think, should I talk about it now? What do we have?
No. Let's end this. I checked my phone.
I'll give
a second
I'll
ago,
give another
there's
shout out
28
to Mark next week. But Mark Vanort from Vanort Contracting. Man, I'm a retard today. Hi, Kenny.
Definitely.
He came on the podcast to talk about Bitcoin. He's coming back to talk about Bitcoin. But he built my new podcast desk. That's beside Gary there. You can't see it, but for 4 people. So we'll have that soon. He helped me out with that. And he's done a whole bunch of, like, he fixed my hot tub. He can do basically anything. Any hard project, jack of all trades. He does the work himself.
Got a great skill set. He's got a skill set that you and I do not have.
And he works freaking hard.
He's a good worker.
Good worker. So if you want to use him, Vanort
Contracting. If you Google his name, will his number show up?
Yes.
Or do you have to message Kyle for his contact?
It should. Here, I'll put the number on here, but
Yeah.
I'll mention it next week as well.
Yeah, people do have, a lot of us have little projects that we need done, and he would do basically anything, right?
Yeah, good, and a good hourly rate. Like, he's not like, oh, he's helped me out so much. Yeah, basically do anything, and bigger renos too. But yeah, okay. His number is 604-791-7898.
7898. Okay.
Anyways,
All over the map.
yeah, disaster.
Every time I record, I swear it'll be the last time.
So I called.
But I had a week.
So Noah Welsh and David Booth,
Yeah.
both guys I had on the podcast, both
Yeah.
are NHL players, or former, and I'm going to group chat with them. And one's hardcore Arminian, and one's hardcore Calvinist, and they go at each other.
Okay.
And so I said, hey, we'll do a hockey theology podcast once a week, and you can talk about hockey stories in the Bible. And Boothy's in. Noah's not sure, but he's...
They're both pretty opinionated, eh?
Oh, yeah.
I heard the podcast with Noah Welch. He definitely knows what he believes, and he's going to tell you about it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just need to get him on board. So
Sounds like a
hopefully
great guy.
I can pull that off. That'd be fun.
Okay. And
And a live event.
how about recruiting? Did you have any recruiting you need to do this week?
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have a bunch of jobs I'm trying to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the marketing job.
Okay.
And then there's a couple more. I'm not prepared.
Definitely.
Most of it actually comes not through the podcast, but just through
Word of mouth. People call.
word of mouth, calling people.
Okay. My wife's looking for a house helper.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I asked Kyle to describe how you would describe the job description working at our house. Who the characters
you
were.
need it. Yeah. So you need someone that 20 hours a week just helps them
Yeah, or
run
a
the
bit
house.
less even. Yeah. Could be any age, but
20,
needs their own-
25 bucks
knows
an
their own
hour.
ride.
Just
Gotta be
strong
tough.
mentally.
Strong mentally and emotionally.
Yeah. You need to be able to get yelled at and screamed at.
Yeah.
Needs to be
Well, it's a communist dictatorship, right?
four
So-
kids crying and stay calm. Need to deal with
Psychotic
Gary
husband.
just
Yeah, big
disappearing
baby.
all of a sudden.
Big baby. Yeah. Ghost you for days.
Goes to,
Won't pay you.
but you'll love it and you'll be blessed
You'll
with
be
beautiful kids.
blessed. It's awesome. I love our house.
I do
It's
too.
messy, but whatever. It is what it is. We all need God's grace there every day. And he's very gracious.
Especially you.
Especially me. And I get it. So I'm very thankful.
Okay.
Kyle,
All the best in the future,
we
guys.
butchered this up. We butchered this. We're done.
So bad.